Okay, hey y'all, I'm back for another read-along video with Barbara Handclau's Chiron book. I keep saying that it was written in the 80s and that it was written in the 90s. I don't actually know when this book was written. I forget, this book has a miniature title. It says Chiron, Transforming Bridge Between the Inner and Outer Planets. So, 1987. I wasn't that far off, not too bad. So in this one, we're already a minute in, whatever. We're going over Chiron in Libra. So the last time Chiron was in Libra was in September of 1995, and lasting until December of 1996. Chiron transits vary. In cardinal signs, they seem to last a little bit longer. Just a little bit. And I mean, Chiron in Aries has lasted for 8 years, so I mean, okay, yeah. Let's get right into it. When Chiron is in Libra, the native is balancing the self in relationship to the other side. Understanding of self is garnered by looking at oneself in the mirror, which is offered by other people. These natives are trying to balance elements to make order out of chaos, and they only know themselves by the degree of harmony they observe in others. No matter how much this native claims to be on his or her own, in reality this person is measuring him or herself by others' responses. Almost constantly. On the low side, the sense of self is undeveloped, and the individual craves constant new experience. On the high side, this individual has a truly remarkable understanding of him or herself that has come from observing others. Consequently, this native may possess great artistic skill. As with Virgo, Chiron is only in Libra for 20 months during this processional phase, and the faculty for knowing oneself in others is not well understood. In fact, these natives require strong relationships with plenty of feedback to get in touch with who they are. The 1st to 7th house polarity involves trying to stretch the self and the self in relationships to others as far as possible. Just as Chiron in the 7th house favors Saturn control over Uranian transformation because relating to the other side is so complex at this time, so does Chiron in Libra because of Saturn fixation. In fact, my clients have demonstrated strong fixations on the ruling parent from childhood. The power of Saturn over those who have Chiron in Libra can be observed physiologically, and often these natives seem very old for their years. Often they require relationships just to exist, yet the relationships bind them until they experience Kundalini release at their Uranus opposition. As I studied 13 charts with Chiron and Libra and visualized each client, I felt constriction in my shoulder and air loss in my lungs, thinking about their lives thus far. I saw their pathways of struggling to be and to breathe as they were smothered in relationships which would not let go until they had grown, and then I had seen them smile. Zane Stein said about those with Chiron and Libra that one major lesson these people must learn is how to really tell when something is fair or just. They have a personal imperative to discover which side is correct and hatred of injustice. It must end now. With my clients, they are either heavily involved in work, which involves compassion and justice, and or they are still working hard on their own relationship lessons or past karma. There's still some blindness about who they are within karmic situations as they relate to others. Knowing and feeling who they really are comes with knowing who they are in relation to others. So figuring out how they're doing involves carefully noticing how they are doing with others. The house position in Chiron in Libra reveals the nature of this native's journey into finding the other side. One client with Chiron in the first in Libra confused all her relationships and became an alcoholic until she married a man she could find herself with. Together they built a compassionate relationship, and now they're healing others. Another couple, both with Chiron in Libra, is an interesting example. The woman has Chiron in Libra in the fourth house, and she has been helping refugees from El Salvador. His Chiron in Libra is in the ninth, and his own spiritual search is connected with her search to find homes for El Salvadorians. Together they have created a marriage which serves the community on many levels. Another client is a therapist who has Chiron in Libra in the 12th, and he has given his life to helping other people balance their own karma, but he has difficulty hearing feedback from others. He is missing the mirror dimension for the most part. An ex-priest, if there is such a thing, has Chiron in the 10th at the top of T-square with the Sun in the 2nd and Saturn in the 8th. He is a composer bringing in the harmony of Libran Chiron balancing Sun and Saturn, but his primary relationship is very difficult. There are many more examples, but relating to others is the primary form of learning for these natives. My clients seem to be involved in more karmic situations than would be expected statistically. Chiron in Libra seems to point to individuals who are immersed in burning old karma off or creating new debts. Out of 20 in my files with Chiron and Libra for our homosexuals, these natives can be assisted if you try to figure out how conscious they are. See this poor kitty cat. He's like, girl, it's rainy. I can't be out here. This is horrible. Where was I? These natives can be assisted if you try to figure out how conscious they are as individuals. Oh gosh, sorry. These natives can be assisted if you try to figure out how conscious they are of injustice in all human relations. Those who are involved in taking advantage of other people are in grave danger at this time when each one of us is given the opportunity to intensify our connection with the cosmos and heal the earth as we heal ourselves. Negative karmic involvements will spin those out of time who choose to misuse energy, just like the fallen angels. Misuse of sexuality is especially dangerous now. Past life therapy can be very helpful for those indulging in negative karmic relationships, because seeing why they are involved as they are can free spirit. At any rate, effort needs to be made to help make these individuals conscious of their actions with others. This is a lot. Some key themes with Libra are balance. Libra, we usually see a woman holding the scales, or it's represented by the scales, looking for that balance, finding that justice between right and wrong. That's why it is the major system of the law. It's very Venusian, even though the law can be pretty nasty sometimes. It's still about maintaining those relationships. You see a lot of politicians with major Libra placements. I wouldn't even be surprised if there were a lot of politicians with Chiron in Libra as well. Let's see. The Saturnian energy as well. Saturn has, or Libra has its exaltation in Saturn, meaning it is highly favored when when Saturn is in Libra. The planet performs very well, and so does the sign, having those containers around it. That's probably why you're getting those themes of like knowing oneself through relationships, another relationship or another person, or seeing yourself through them or learning through them. it can either be very freeing or you can cap yourself because there's so many other perspectives for you to learn. It's different when it's, I imagine, when it's a romantic partner and you're building a life with somebody, a family with somebody, shared resources with somebody, a legacy with somebody. You're going to want to learn about them and you're going to want to live through them in a way sometimes because you're building this life together, especially if there are children involved. But the whole situation of, I think why I said I was like, oh, that's a lot about the karmic relations. I have a very different, oh my God, I can't with this cat. I have a very different perspective. I don't, Oreo. What's wrong, baby? What's wrong, Shug? What's wrong? Come here. Did you get wet? You get rained on? Now he don't want to talk. What's wrong? You get rained on? Don't you worry about a thing. You'll get dry. Just leave the door open. He has the option. I don't really believe in karma. I don't believe in karma. This is what I was making in the other point of some of the other videos was like, you know, when I talk about astrology, I'm only talking about one universe. In the scope of a multiverse, which is usually what's happening when you're watching any sort of fictional movie, like certain themes do not exist there. Certain characters do not believe in certain things, and that generates a specific outcome. Being concerned, when I see karma, I see repetition. I don't know what the word karma actually means, and I'm sure that it also has been misrepresented as well by Western society. I hope that it means something different. I would hope that a culture as old as India knew what they were talking about when they created karma, or created the archetype or the classification. Come here, girl. It's raining, girl. You sure you want to be out in the rain? When they were creating karma. But I see a lot of people doing this for, like, you know, if somebody yells at you and then you stub your toe. No, if you yell at somebody and then you stub your toe, and if somebody says, well, karma's a bitch. Karma's a bitch. You know, maybe you were just walking, like, sometimes it's just coincidence. You know what I mean? Like, you could say everything happens for a reason. Yeah, sure. But, like, at the same time, not everything is a direct effect of that. Sometimes things are just happening. That's what I meant by the spiritual bypassing of things. I'm like, if you're looking that deep into it, you need to be finding something else to do, because that's just not good, especially when it comes to relationships. I think that's what it's talking about here. When I see the word karma, I see repetition. If we're going to be talking about karma, let's talk about some good karma. Let's talk about making money with karma. Okay? I won't get caught up in the, oh, I've, you know, yelled at my child and now hell is raining fire on me or something like that. Not like, girl, it is what it is. If you believe in it, then it's going to come true. It's the observer effect. Whatever you put your energy and your thoughts to. I mean, was that not the whole Chiron and Gemini thing of your thoughts form reality? So there are certain things that will be mentioned in this book that I don't truly believe in. These animals, I swear, it's like a fucking zoo in here. But yeah, so that's Chiron in Libra. I think anybody that has negative involvements with relationships are going to are going to misuse their energy. Anybody that's wasting time with somebody that's not beneficial for them is misusing their life force energy. Life force energy that is used for cellular regeneration, growing long nails, creating beautiful luxurious skin, making babies. Like, I just don't mess around. I don't mess around. And I think that there's like this common theme with Libra placements of, like, they'll put up with a lot of shit And that is the truth. I don't know. I haven't known many Libra placements, and my Libra in my chart is like that that house is empty. But, and thank goodness, maybe. It's just, yeah, you need to have some freaking backbone. You need to have some backbone. You have the joy and the gem of being exalted by Saturn and being a cardinal sign and being a Venusian ruled. You should be acting like Leo energy, low key, a little bit royal. I should be giving royal. Queen Charlotte, yeah, kind of energy. Because clearly, from some of the examples of the charts that Barbara Clow gave, these people can be destined for greatness. I think everybody can be. But these people can be destined for greatness, especially in the relationships that they choose. Of course, anybody should be. We've got lessons, every sign, every placement, even people that don't believe in astrology. There are some real life, real world examples and truths in these books. And you should not be wasting time on somebody that is not beneficial for you, your children, your future children. No, none of that stuff. So moving on to Chiron and Scorpio. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for joining me for this time. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.